hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday night live. I see Richard and Duncan are both on the ball tonight, so hello to you gentlemen. I am joined by Scott Chachingking, who is underneath me, and also Ginger Marvin, which is Kathy and Chris. They have been on before as well, but it's been a little while since they've been on. Richard will be dropping links to both their channels, so if you aren't subscribed to them, definitely check out their channels, and I'm going to let them give you a real quick introduction. Here is Scott.
I'm Scott, also known as Chachingking on YouTube and Instagram, and I'm just here for the money.
That was not paid, that right, was Kat? Too short. You're just here for the money. All right, here's Kathy and Chris.
Hey, what's going on? We go by Ginger Marvin. I'm Chris. This is Kathy. We've been full-time sellers for a couple years now, doing YouTube for a couple years, and yeah, we're just excited to see what happens tonight.
Yep. Perfect. Kathy's like,
Yep.
You guys have been doing lives too, though, right? I keep seeing it pop up, but I haven't been able to go in.
Yeah.
So, Duncan, I'm alternating your questions with non-Duncan people. That is how I'm going to approach this, since you put 4. So, Duncan's first question for us tonight is, how do you balance eBay and your personal lives when things happen suddenly, like relatives show up out of the blue?
And I'm on the hot seat, so it's me. My relatives don't show up out of the blue a whole lot. Normally, when somebody's on work release, you get notice that they're going to be out for a while. And, you know, honestly, it's hard. But this is such a big part of our lives, so there's not a lot of balance. This is what we were doing for fun, and we retired to be able to do this. So for us, it isn't as much of a conflict as it would be for other people.
We also don't have people show up out of the blue. I don't know when the last time anyone just showed up at our house was, actually, thankfully. But as far as balancing eBay and personal life, we don't do it well. That's for sure.
We could use those tips also.
Yeah.
Scott said, I'm out of here. That sounded like a...
Scott said that was too hard of a question, Duncan. He's leaving.
Yeah, my relatives really don't show up out of the blue, but if they did, they would have to sleep in this room, which would be like they would just sleep next to my inventory, and then I would have to... It sounded like there was an ice cream truck there, Scott, and you had to go get one or something.
I thought I was hearing things.
No, I heard it too. Mine, like my mom works for me. So my mom being here doesn't disrupt. We were doing live shipping yesterday though, and one of my listers came by, and she could only come by at a certain time, and I was live shipping. So I'm like, come in, Charlotte. I told her I was live. Like, she had to come in. We had to exchange inventory all live while we were shipping and just make it work. But I think most of our relatives know what we're doing. My mom, like I said, my mom's the only one close enough, and she works for us. So she's not ever here unexpectedly. She's here to work. So, all right. Duncan and Richard cheated because Duncan had Richard ask his question. What eBay tips would you give?
Number one is just be consistent with it. If you're going to do eBay as a business or as a very serious hobby, you just got to do it. Like, you learn more when you're listing, and you make more when you're listing, and you move stuff when you're listing. Just keep working.
I agree with all that. Yeah.
Into the mic.
I mean, I can't fit here together. Yeah, just listing every day, running sales, sending offers, using promoted listing. Basically using all the tools that eBay gives you to make sales and actually use them.
I have 2. One would be immediately divide your bank account information. So have like one for like eBay and business and one for personal. That really helps you out, and I'm learning that kind of a little bit now. And another one would be do your research. I didn't do enough research when I first started, and I had just a lot of junk I picked up that I thought was really cool. So a lot of research, and obviously what they said, a lot of research and split bank accounts. That's my final answer.
Yeah, I agree with what everyone said. Being consistent is definitely a thing. Don't get impatient. This is typically, unless you're really lucky and find super popular, high in demand stuff, it's not going to be like a get rich quick. It is a lot of work. It doesn't come overnight. So don't expect to list 20 things and have even 2 sell overnight. That's probably not going to happen. So just know, like, most of us that you're seeing doing videos and watching have been doing this for a while. So we have established stores. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. That's, I think, really, really important. All right, now we are going to Deborah. Do you use abbreviation like MCM, NWT, and do you think most buyers know what they mean?
I definitely don't think they know what they mean. I put VTG at the beginning of some things because it'll come up as vintage. But then I had a lady that said it didn't fit her because that was a foreign sizing the VTG. So I know they don't know. I don't do a lot of it because it just vintage. I still do some, but it's not a foreign sizing thing. It just means vintage.
Vintage sizing is kind of different, though, right? It's a lot smaller.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of foreign.
Yeah, I don't really do abbreviations. Honestly, the last time I knew what MCM was, it was Man Crush Monday. So I don't know what it means in,
Exactly.
I don't know
in
what that is
reselling
either. Does anybody
relation.
know?
So
I know what it means.
Today is Man Crush Monday. Oh no,
Yeah.
that was yesterday.
that was yesterday.
Today is Taco
So-
Tuesday.
I was gonna say today's Taco Tuesday. Yeah.
We actually had tacos today. So, anyways, but yeah,
We do.
like for new, I just type out new. I don't say with tag. I just type new.
Mhm.
I mean, I do VTG, like if it is a vintage piece and I need to like save characters or whatever, but yeah.
I would new with tags. See, I don't have a lot of things with tags, so no, not really. But if I did, I'd probably abbreviate it and only have ones. But no, I mean, I don't think that the sellers do know because I have no idea. I had to look up everything that I saw on eBay prior and then look up what that was. Like I didn't know what new with tags meant, NWT. So I try to spell it as much as I can unless I need characters. And Kat, what's MCM stand for?
Mid-century modern.
Would
And I
never know
bet
that.
the buyers that buy a lot of mid-century
Yeah.
modern, I feel like they would know that one. Now I don't put NWT because that's 3 characters. I prefer to just put new versus new with tag. That's just me. But I do use MCM a lot because mid-century modern takes up a lot of space. And I think, like I said, I feel like buyers that are buying a lot in that category might. So you might, it's hard to know because we're sellers. So we know. So I would be interested in, like, we need to ask some buyers. That's what we need. We need to find people that aren't reselling and ask them if they
I'll
know
make
what
my
these things.
next listing out of nothing but abbreviations, and we'll see if it sells.
And emojis.
Yeah, just put a bunch of letters.
Emojis.
A bunch of letters. All right. Maria Does Life sent a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. She said, what happens to my money from a return shipping label when the buyer never returns the item and the label was never used?
I mean, it's eventually canceled. I've had that happen, and you'll normally, I don't know that you can go back and check under shipping labels. I don't know that I get a notice of that, but I have had it happen, and you're kind of on the post office's time schedule on that. It's a little slower.
I was told you're not charged for it unless the buyer uses it. So
Yeah. I think that pretty much covers it. I agree. Miss Maria, I'm going to give you a dolphin. Here you go.
Super chat.
I'm still working on new super chat. I should have done them last night. Dalton was playing the whole repeat. He repeated everything you said. And I mean word for word, where you're like, okay, enough. Okay, enough. Like, and I don't even know where he learned. I don't even know where. I guess they just naturally do that. But I should have like recorded a bunch of super chats while he was in that I'm repeating everything you say mode. because normally I can't get to say what I want. Duncan's second question: if you don't use auto decline on eBay and you suddenly get 18 lowball offers from the same buyer, do you counter and recounter or just decline them all?
I decline them all with prejudice. Like I block them from future harassment.
Yeah. Same, right?
I'm surprised that Scott said that. I feel like he's like so nice and like would just be like, oh, countering back to every single one of them. I don't accept offers on eBay, so I don't have this problem. But I definitely would not deal with that. I would just block the buyer and decline them all.
Yeah, definitely. 18's a little excessive.
Yeah. Tall tale sign of a bad buyer.
17 I can deal with.
Counter,
18,
18 that's
over the
excessive.
limit. Yeah.
Yeah, I let 3 go through, and they were coming back to back, and I blocked them before they could make the 4th. That happened about a week and a half ago. So I didn't let them get anywhere near that. I would block them. I would decline and block them. Okay, Duncan, I'm giving you 2 questions in a row. What is your best sale on eBay in the past 7 days?
In the past 7 days, I started selling the stuff out of the storage locker. So I sold a bundle of 12 vintage Ringer t-shirts that were still in the bag, but it was just $100. It wasn't a big sale, but it was fun for me because I've got like 2,000 more. So
Kathy's looking it up.
I'm scrolling. Yeah, most of my better sales this last week have been on Posh, but I think the best one on eBay is a pair of UFOS shoes for $63 plus shipping.
We've had a vintage Ping Florida Gators stand bag go out for over $100 international, and then a couple other like golf sets go out over $100. So all golfing related stuff.
Mine was a $300 Ted Nugent Knucklebones statue, him playing the guitar. And I'm kind of worried, but this buyer, so I got to tell you guys this because they sent an offer at 1:45 a.m. in the morning, right? So I wake up at 7 a.m., hadn't seen the offer. The offer was a decent offer. And at like 1:47, 2 minutes later, said, "How dare you be so rude? You couldn't even decline my offer with a message." I hadn't accepted, declined. I hadn't even seen it. So I wrote them and I said, "Well, I would have accepted your offer, but I was not awake at 1:45 a.m. So per your request, I'm going to decline it." And I did. I declined it, and it was an offer I would have accepted. So that was 2 days ago. Then yesterday, same buyer. And like I said, I might be kicking myself for this later. Same buyer messages me and says, "I'm sorry about that. It's not 2 a.m. I'm offering you $10 more. Will you please accept my offer?" And I did. And I shipped it out.
Oh, no.
But here's the thing. They already left positive feedback before I even shipped. They've already left me positive feedback.
It's even more suspicious.
The most they could do at this point is annoy the crap out of me via messaging, right? Like, so yeah.
Cat lives on the edge.
Yeah,
I look too because Brad's like, "Just cancel it, just cancel it," and I'm like, "No." And I went and looked, and they had not ever left a negative feedback for anyone. I'm like, "Well, that's not what I expected to see." And it's funny because I assumed it was a man. It is a woman. It is a woman. So yeah. So who knows? Miss Sue wants to know, what do you have your handling time set for and why?
I have mine set for 1 day. I live a half a mile from the post office. It's literally the only thing close to me where I live. It's the highlight of the day is running to the post office. So 1 day.
We've always had 1 day until this summer. We decided with the kids home and stuff for break that we would try 2 day and see if it like affects our sales or anything. It doesn't seem like it has. So right now we're on 2 day. I still ship mostly every day, but yeah.
I do 1 day also, but I do like the 2 day method, but we switched to 1 day just to get things out faster and everything. And unlike Scott, I don't like going to the post office. It dreads me every day. Every day I don't like it because they are very rude.
Oh no, mine's nice.
Kathy and Chris, if you guys have an option to turn your mic up, it's really low. I'm getting messages. I don't know if there's an option to turn it up. If there is, if you could turn it up. I have my handling set for 1 day. I had it set for 2 days because I like not having to have to do it. And I found out I don't get my 10% discount on fees, which for me is hundreds of dollars a month. And I turned it back to 1 day handling because I like this month we're at 13,000 in sales, probably 2,500 or so, maybe a little bit less in fees. And that's, you know, almost $300. And we ship every day anyways. I just liked having a little bit of leeway there, but I have since changed everything back to 1 day and I'm leaving it there. I don't know if anybody can answer this. I will tell you, I cannot. Vicky wants to know, how does she set up GSP? And do you know if she has to go and change all of her listings once she sets it up? Like, is that, I can look while everybody's talking and see if that's a bulk edit option. But I don't know how to turn GSP on because it's been so long since I did it.
It's been a long time for me. It was literally just a click on the individual ad. It seemed like this time, you know, because I opened the new account just so that I could teach from it. And I didn't have to do anything special other than turn it on for individual ads. So I don't know if there's more.
I know it's not available for everyone.
Maybe, yeah.
It looks like you can actually do global shipping and put add to all, just FYI. Mm-hmm. So like I already have it on, but I could add it to 2,000 listings at a time with the bulk editor. But do you have the bulk editor if you don't have a store?
I don't know. I don't know either. I'll check.
Oh, do you have one without a store?
Yeah, when I made that video for how to open an account, I made one just for Chachingking, and I figured I'd just put merch on there. So let's see if I can edit everything. Everything being 7 listings on there. So
7 whole listing. Oh, you're going split ear. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, no, I can edit them all.
Okay, so you should be able to edit all, and then it's under shipping international, Miss Vicky, and you should be able to add it. Miss Constance says, do you feel eBay sellers will not make as much on clothing with the manufacturer selling their own sneakers and clothing on eBay?
I personally think it's going to have absolutely no impact whatsoever. They've never impacted me. We sell, for a long time, we probably did 90% clothing. It hasn't had any impact on us when Patagonia did it for a while, and some of the others have, unless they find the exact same thing that I have and undercut me or something, they're not going to have any impact on it.
I agree with that. Like, usually if you're selling the same types of things, then like the company themselves doesn't have that exact print or that exact size or whatnot at the same time that you're selling yours. So
yeah, I don't sell many clothings, but I would think not. I would think that it would not really affect it.
For my clothing, it's typically vintage or older clothing. I don't do a lot of new clothing. So I feel like the manufacturers and stuff are only going to have new. So if you're doing like retail arbitrage out of like Ross or Marshalls, then you might have a little bit of impact, but I don't feel like much because I've seen the manufacturer have it, and I've seen individual sellers beat their price, and I went with the individual seller. So I would say you probably are going to need to undercut that company if you do have the thing by a little bit, just to entice people to buy from you. The only thing that I did, was a Dyson. I would get it from Dyson because I got the warranty versus buying it from a seller. And Dyson does sell their own refurbished vacuums on eBay, and they are pretty price competitive with resellers too. So I will say that. Laura, North Carolina says, should you wash new with tags vintage sleepwear with light stains before listing?
You know, and honestly, it would depend upon the stain. It would depend upon what kind of sleepwear it is. But if we're talking something truly valuable, you're backing up to the 30s or the 40s, something that's going to be worth hundreds of dollars, I list it and I point out the issues and the flaws with it and let them wash it.
I don't think I would wash it.
I don't wash anything. Just point it out and
Yeah,
say there's a
if it's
stain
new
on
with
it.
tags, there is an option for new with defects. You can use that.
There you go.
If it is vintage with a tag, I am not washing it. I'm going to point out the stains and leave that tag because most times that's going to add more value to the item. So I would not wash it because it won't be new with tags anymore. It can be new with tags with defects. So you need to make sure you point out the defects. But if the only thing for me that would change it is if there was like a bad odor or something, and then I wouldn't list it as new with tags anymore. It would become used, but I would wash something unless like Scott said, if I could damage it, if it's that old, I'm going to tell them it's stinky and it has stains and here it is. And some people will still buy it. People will still buy it. Now I'm scrolling. Erica wants to know, do you ever list an item without best offer?
Occasionally. I never used to use best offer at all. I hated it. Just because, you list a Buick and then somebody sends you an offer for $5. And so, but once I turned it on, I sell about 20% more stuff. So for me, it's, unless I already know that it's going to sell within minutes, I have best offer on. Can I add one thing to that? The best benefit of all of having best offer on is when someone sends me an offer, I get a chance to go look at the feedback they leave people. And if they are straight running crazy, I don't have to do business with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't you also see like where they're located, their address? Sometimes I'll look at that just to see like how much it might cost for shipping, because I don't do like calculated shipping. But anyways, I don't accept best offers on eBay. I don't have it on any of my listings just because I don't really like offers. I just price my stuff at market value, and most of it sells within 90 days or so, which is what I hope for. Yeah.
I do a lot of best offers. I never used to, and then a lot of times if I don't list it, it's because I totally forgot to actually put it on forgot on the listing, and then I usually do like a bulk edit, and then make sure that they're all on. But I do like the fact that when you do get an offer, you can go see. I do the same thing: is go look to where they live at and how much. Like if it's super low, like man, how much is the shipping going to cost? Is it worth it? Then I look at their profile a little bit. So, but most of the time I try to put it on.
Sorry, I forgot to say the main reason. It just feels like it's telling people you're willing to take less instead of just pricing it at what it's worth. I mean, I know Scott sells a lot of different kind of stuff than I do. So like his stuff, he could probably get a lot or, be willing to accept lower, but I'm selling mostly shoes. It's worth $35 to $40. It's going to sell in that range. So I don't feel the need to take an offer of 30 because we just do our account where it slowly decreases in price over time. So
on sale.
Yeah.
I think she said I have weird stuff. That's what I heard.
No, I just know
Weird stuff sells, man.
Weird stuff, aka cool stuff. I just sell clothes and shoes mostly.
Yeah, I list everything with best offer. It's turned on everything, and I think it helps the algorithm. So I think it pushes your listings up in search. Even if you don't, which it really annoys me if people turn it on and I offer them like $2 less and they don't accept. So then I am kind of ticked. Yeah. But I will tell you, people that lowball me, I will offer them 50 cents off. So if you if you get an offer back from me and it's for 50 cents off my asking price, that means I was probably a little offended by your offer. I did that to somebody today, and then they'll decline me, and then they'll come back tomorrow and offer me more. So it's kind of whatever. But I think it was Casey. I think it was Rockstar Flipper I heard that said, like, why not turn it on? You might make sales, especially if you've had something a long time and it takes 2 seconds to hit decline. And it could help you in the algorithm. So after I watched that video, I actually turned it on all of mine. And that was probably over 2 years ago. I used to do the minimum offer and I don't anymore because of lowering prices. Like the lowest I was willing to accept ended up higher than what I priced it at like 2 years later when I'm like, get it out of my store. So I quit doing that. Lori wants to know how would everybody's Wilson, Kathy and Chris are Wilson. How would you handle this issue? I sent a hat to California from PA. A few days later, I received a message from the buyer. I didn't receive it. It went to my old address.
I mean, that's actually, we're talking through eBay. As long as you ship to the address that they had in there, you're covered anyway. It'll eventually get back to you and they can decide whether or not they want to pay to ship it again. But it's not your responsibility to do anything other than to ship it at that address that they had in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm imagining if it got delivered, because somebody lives at that address, even if it's not the actual buyer.
It's gone forever.
Once eBay sees it's delivered, they're not going to make you refund. So I would just say contact eBay. eBay will probably refund them, but
You'll
I don't
get your
know.
money.
Yeah, you'll still get to keep your money.
Yeah, they'll most likely open up a case and just download your tracking, and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and I agree. As long as you ship to the address on file, that's on the buyer, not you. You could tell them if it comes back, you would reship it, and then it would depend on if you want to be nice and, it's an 8-ounce item. I might, if it was a decently priced item, I might ship it back out to them for free. But if it's expensive, I've had a buyer pay, like I'll have them pay me to reship it out to them to the correct address when the item comes back. But if somebody else lives at that address, they might get that hat, open it, and keep it. So you don't always get the item back, unfortunately. Lori wants to know, what are some tips for sourcing at huge yard sales? The 127 sale is coming up multiple days through 7 states, and it's a little overwhelming.
First of all, I love those kind of things. Like I can hit a bunch of them quickly. A simple tip is don't feel obligated to buy something at every single place. If it's not worth your time and trouble, don't pick it up.
Yeah, we've never been to one of those huge sales.
Just maybe like neighborhood sales, which
I personally don't really like the neighborhood sales. I feel like that's just a lot of people that are like jumping on the bandwagon of having a yard sale, and they don't really have too good of stuff. At least in our area, I feel like it's different everywhere else, but
yeah, we haven't really experienced that.
It could just be the stuff we source too. So
we were actually going to the 127. This will be the first time we've ever gone to something that big, like so many yard sales at once. Now we have pretty big community yard sales. The best thing I can tell you is get a wagon, get you a nice wagon, pull it behind you, trim your stuff all like in your hands and stuff, and that's about it.
You mean like the little carts?
Yeah, like pull it behind you.
I love them. I have one in here.
Park your car and just walk, and then when the wagon's full, go get your car, then move your car, like hop it, right, and then park someplace else, then get you a wagon and pull it again. That's going to be our strategy. And that's what it usually is for community yard sales too, because you can't drive. I mean, the streets are so just with people walking and stuff, it's pretty busy. So I usually just park the car someplace far away, walk in, and then do the best I can. But it's a lot of fun, and I like it. I'm excited to go to the 127.
Yeah, and I wouldn't try and go to all 7 states. Like, there's no way. Pick a small portion of it, and then go to that portion. I did on the way up to Cincinnati, but those were spread out. It was like in Kentucky. It was one in Kentucky, and they were pretty spread out. There weren't like you couldn't walk between them. So they would be like 2 or 3 blocks away. So we just stopped at every one along the way until it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So you could do that, drive and stop and see what you're getting. But like me, I would need to stop at every one because you don't know what's at it. So I would probably make it like a mile in a day if they were really close together. I would not make it very far. But if there's a ton of people and different stuff, then it would be worth it. But I don't think I would try and hit all 7 states. I am not going to 127 though, because I will be at FlipCon in Charlotte at that time. So It's like right in the middle of it, I believe. Lynn wants to know, why am I losing views during the month? 1 or 2 every day. How can you lose views? Scott, do you know the answer to, because this is one answer question. Like this question has one answer.
This is actually what's happening to you is nothing untoward. What's happened is eBay changed their policy, and the views only are the views that you've had within the last 30 days. And so now you'll know how many views you've had in the last 30 days.
So when it rolls over, you lose some. Like every day, it's going to drop off a day.
Right. Exactly.
I will tell you guys too, because this comes up a lot. I don't care about the views. I don't look at the views. I don't care about them. It only takes one view to get a sale. I wouldn't concentrate on views, guys. I wouldn't concentrate on it. Diane says, I am new. Do you have to have a store to get standard promotions? I think the audience a couple of months ago told us that you do not have to have a store to promote. You can promote without a store. Look, Scott's got the test dummy store there.
Let's see here.
They said you could promote but not run a sale. That's what I was told.
When I clicked on promotions, it brought up their stores. It didn't give me the option of promoting. I mean,
interesting.
I can't show it to you, but it said the starter store is $4.95. So
I wonder if some people can and some can't. If you're in the audience and you do not have a store and you can promote, tell us, because people told us that before.
Yeah, when I click on promotions, it definitely brings up their store plans.
Buy a store if you'd like to promote. Jan says, what is your favorite bread and butter item to resell?
Gosh, we sell so much odd stuff. I don't know if I have a bread and butter item. A bread and butter item for me would be something that I picked up a ton of, that I have like one listing, like the mop pads. I've been selling mop pads for 6 years. I paid $40 for a trailer load. I make $5 every time they sell. I've sold 2,000 of them now. Wow. And so I'm at like 10 grand for, I don't remember if it was 20, it might have been $40. And I'm like halfway through them. So to me, that's like, when it goes off, you're not excited about it. I mean, you still made $5, but cumulatively, that's a bread and butter item for me.
That's a cash cow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like bread and caviar.
I guess for me, probably just like Crocs or Skechers, like shoes. I pretty much find a pair of those every time I enter any thrift store, and they generally sell around $30. I usually pay $5 to $8. So
mine would be a golf club between like $20 and $25. So you pick it up for $4, and then it's going to be a Callaway, an old Callaway, old TaylorMade, some Titleist, and then they're always in the thrift store. You can find them at yard sales, and you can usually get them for $3-4, and they're always going to sell for $20. It's going to be a 6-iron, basically like a 3-iron to a 9-iron, because pitch and wedge is going to be a little bit more expensive. So anywhere between there, I sell a ton of them.
For me lately, it's been the license plates and the Harley pins. There are some higher ones, but most of them are like $10 to $15 on average. And it's almost like Scott said, it's because I bought 600 Harley pins and I bought 2,000 license plates. And my daughter just finished them. She had to ask me yesterday, what else can I list? She's like sad because like nothing's as fast as a license plate. But she is completely done listing those. Now she's working on some ornaments. I haven't found what her next thing is, but so mine's normally my lot items. Right now it's definitely those two. Maria has a question for Julian. What is your favorite item you found thrifting or going to garage sales?
Favorite item. The favorite. I got so many. Any type of old pen fishing reels are my favorite, because I usually keep them and don't use them, and then just then sell them later on when I realize I'm not going to use them because I have enough. Or really expensive, anything that actually makes money. To be quite honest with you, like if I roll up and I know it's going to make me like a couple $100, that's my favorite item of the day. Yeah. So because I don't really collect a lot of things, like I use some things, but I don't have like a collection of. And I haven't found any vintage Jurassic Park stuff at yard sales other than a hat, and I kept the hat.
You've been hunting. You've been hunting.
I haven't found nothing. Like I watch people all the time YouTube. They're like, "Oh, I found this vintage shirt." I was like, "I haven't found nothing. This is not vintage. I bought it at Walmart."
I saw one of the Jurassic Park truck things driving down the street yesterday.
I love them. I'm gonna build me one.
It's pretty cool.
Where did I go? Oh, here. Melinda says, for current parents, how do you explain to your kid that you have to work and focus on work more during the day? My daughter, who is 5 years old, gets so mad and tells people I ignore her.
My son's 25, so suck it up, Buttercup. He didn't want to see me anyway.
They don't care. Like, they don't care if we're working. They'll just want attention. So we try to do our listing. I'm the only one that lists, so I try to do the listings when they go to bed at night. I try to quickly have an hour that I can photograph them during the day.
Would you try to bring them in to do some stuff?
Yeah, we have them help bag shoes when they can. Otherwise, I try to take them with me somewhere. Like, I'll take them to a play place where I can just sit and list while they are having fun, and I'm not quite ignoring them, but kind of ignoring them. So, yeah.
My child has 4 legs and is furry and will bite me, and then I bite her back, and then she goes away. Or give her a bone.
Yeah, Dalton's grown up around it, so he doesn't, like, he's 4. He just turned 4. He sometimes will get like, okay, I want to go inside because we work out here in the shed. But other times he will drag me out. Like yesterday, he's mad I wouldn't come out and take pictures because he takes pictures with his phone. Like I really should look at his picture roll because he'll take them and then he'll give me the item. So I let him work with me. He likes to clean things. He's a weird kid. So if I give him some wipes and like some glass to clean, he's happy too. So I kind of multitask it. So I don't be like, no, I'll find something to keep him busy. And my plan, since he's starting school here in 2 weeks, is to get probably 90% of my work stuff done between 7 and 2 while he's at school, so that I'll have time to spend with him after. I'll still have like video premieres and stuff like that. But my plan is to get most of it, because I'm thinking if I am not interrupted by a 4-year-old and can really concentrate, hopefully I will be able to get more done in that small period than I currently am all day. But that might be a misconception. I might be wrong and eat my words there. Sunkiss, thank you so much. $3.99 super sticker. Here is your dollar. Super chat. Mom.
While you're looking, somebody had a question for me.
Oh.
They were asking what I've sold a lot of. It's dust mop pads. They're
like Swiffer ones.
Yeah, kind of like that, except they're more clothy. they're cloth. And we just bought. There was a company in Dallas that went out of business named Jesco, and we bought all of their remaining stock. And it was cheap. So I'm still selling them. I've got thousands left.
That's like my vents. I bought a whole pallet of like 500 vents for $5.
Right.
For like 500. I'm like 0.005 cents into each. And I've sold probably like 40, but I still have like 400. But they can sit there because they're in the profit and whatever.
Right.
Donella wants to know, I don't know what she means by kitty, but she wants to basically how much should she have for startup in her bank account for her business. And then after that, she said 500. So I guess maybe we could talk about what we started with, like when we first started.
Well, I didn't start with anything. I think, Kat, I shared it at your thing. I started selling chewing gum in junior high. I spent my lunch money on it. So I definitely didn't have $500. When you start this business, I'd start with things around the house. You don't have to have a bunch of cash. Start with the things that you already have. And if you run out of stuff to sell at home, then you can start buying things. But this is a business that has a very low cost of entry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't really, like when we started reselling, it wasn't like going to be like a full-time thing. So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
You know, we just were flipping random things here and there, like as a hobby. And at that point, when we kind of were like, man, we could probably do this full time and like make as much as I made at my old job. You know, at that point, we had already had enough flips to where it was enough to keep it sustaining itself.
Definitely the slow growth for us. Yeah.
But I guess if you're new and just, wanting to start with little or nothing, like Scott said, find stuff around the house, ask friends or family if they want to donate anything to you. You could start at the Goodwill outlet. It's really cheap to source there. Or
start
garage
with
sales.
whatever you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
If that's $100, if you can't lose $100, don't use $100. So
yeah, like last year, we kind of like didn't finish the challenge, but I started like a Goodwill bins challenge, like when the government was giving out stimulus checks last year.
It was like 2 years ago.
Whatever. I took my $600 to the bins. I spent every dollar of it at the Goodwill outlet bins, and by the end of basically when everything sold, I had already made at least $6,000 in profit. So, I mean, just start, I guess, with little money.
Yeah, the best thing is start around the house, then take that money and put it in a separate bank account, and then that would be your bankroll for your eBay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you have 500, I think 500 is a good starting amount.
For sure.
I feel like I pulled like 200 or 300, and I didn't have separate bank accounts at that point. I pulled it from like my work paycheck, and I was doing pallets when I first started this go round of reselling. So I bought like one pallet for like 200 to 300. Flipped it and made 600, bought 2 pallets, and it has built up to over $200,000 in inventory now. I haven't put a ton like of my personal money back in. I did take the SBA loan for COVID and kind of bought a bunch of high dollar items with that. So I have done that, but I think 500 would be a good amount. But I agree with Kathy and Chris. Don't put it in there if you don't have it. If you don't have it, start with $10 and stuff around the house, and you can definitely build it up from nothing. It is totally doable. Money helps you do it faster. So the thing with money, and I talk about this tomorrow in my top 10 reasons you'll fail as a reseller video, which is really different for me. And I had a lot of fun recording it. Well, because I'm reading a motivational book, and it was like, they had the top 31 reasons you fail as like, almost like as an entrepreneur. And I'm like, some of these really fit for what I hear and see in comments of why people fail as resellers. And I will tell you, not enough capital is in the top 10 reasons, because if like for me, like my auction buy I just had last week was $1,600, but it'll probably net me well over $10,000. So if you don't have the capital and an opportunity presents itself, like my buying 2,000 license plates for $1,000, you can do it. It's just going to be a slower climb to get to, a higher dollar sales amount and making more money. With capital, you can make it happen faster, I guess is the easiest way to say that. But you want to, I guess my point in that is don't go spend all the money you make. You need to put it back into your business. I guess that's my bottom line. 2 dancing guys for Scott's crazy locker buyout. Okay, Scott's going to dance on big screen for your...
He will not be doing that. Of all the things that might happen tonight, that's not one of them.
That is not one of them. Okay, I'll give him a dolphin. Thank you, Mark. Super chat. Santa wants to know, how do we determine when to do auctions or buy it now?
Well, I have a video about that, but I made it a long time ago. Here's the bottom line for me. Almost everything is buy it now, because I know pretty much what it's worth. And if something is between 200 and 400, I'm going to price it at 400 or best offer. It's rare that I know something's worth a lot. I know a lot of people are going to chase it, and there's a lot of people looking for it, and there's none available. I might run that on an auction because I know where the floor is, but I don't know where the ceiling is. Other than that, I'm doing a buy it now.
Pretty much the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do auctions. I think I've tried once or twice, and the once that I can think of, it definitely would have sold more higher if I would have just priced it by it now and waited a little bit. But
I think we were trying to auction off stuff that has been sitting for a while. Don't do that.
This specific thing was just like something that a few viewers had mentioned they wanted, and then we felt bad selling it to one, and so we're like, we'll just put it on eBay auction and like see, I didn't want to like
fight it out.
Right, but then it didn't actually go that well, so I wish I would have just priced it by it now. The only reason I would ever probably do auctions at this point, at least for the stuff I sell, is if I'm really just want to clearance it out, and I would just start stuff at like 99 cents and let it sell for 99 cents.
But I just said don't do that.
So
yeah, unless you're willing to let it go for 99 cents. Yeah.
I do the more auctions that I do is basically, when I do auctions, I lot a lot of things up, right? So I buy a whole bunch of tools, even golf clubs, anything, and I buy a whole bunch, and I pick out the stuff that I want, and the rest I like take big pictures of, and it's like, hey, here's a medium flat rate box full of Craftsman, etc., junk drawer stuff, and then I just put up there for like $10-15 and see how high I went. I did that with Matchbox cars the other day. I bought a whole bunch. I went through them. There's none that were they're worth anything. And I threw them in a box, and it was like 32 pounds or something crazy. And it went super high, like way higher than I could imagine. And I had gone through them, and I didn't see anything super valuable. I'm not real good at that stuff though. So I was happy with it. I made like 4 times my money. And so I do a lot of those type of auctions, and I do fairly well. I usually never have to redo them. Other than with golf balls. I can't sell a golf ball to save my life. It's ridiculous.
So I say if it's really popular, really rare, and in demand, it can't be rare and not in demand. It needs to be a popular brand, something like that. I'm going to do a really shameless plug right now and tell you guys I have some earrings up on auction. I started them at 99 cents. I paid $50 and they are only at $5.50. They're a good reseller lot. I just did not feel like listing a bunch of earrings. So they are marked like Monet. They are some good vintage brands. So, and a 10-carat ring that I paid over $100 for, I have starting at $50 on my store right now. So I have 3 auctions, and it basically... the earrings, I'm like, I don't feel like listing these individually. And I meant to talk about it on my video and I forgot. So I'm talking about it now. So if you're a reseller and you want some earrings, they're at $5.50 right now and they end on Sunday. But up until now, those 3 auctions I have going, I have not done an auction in probably a month and a half or 2 months. I really rarely do them. I agree with Scott. Like I'm gonna and Kathy and Chris, I'm gonna research. I know what it's worth, and I'm gonna price it. So rarely. Julian was saying he got more traffic last week. That's why I did the auctions. That's what made me do them. He's like, oh, I put a few things up on auction, and then people come. So I did have a $700 day 2 days ago. So the people are coming. The people are coming. Maybe it was that. Miss Kathy sent a $5 super chat. Thanks for sharing. The more we all learn, the better. Kathy, the lingerie lady. Thank you so much. Here's your super chat. Jeremy wants us to drop our link trees. See, I don't even keep a copy of my link tree. My link tree for me is like only for my Instagram profile.
I don't even know her.
I have Linktree, but I wouldn't know how to drop a link to that. It's just Chachingking. If you can't find me, you don't deserve the knowledge that I am dropping on people.
I think all of our names are the same everywhere, though.
Drop the Linktree.
Speak of Chachingking, he's over there cha-chinging. My cha-ching has been broke for like 6 months, but I'm like, whatever. Maria has a question for me. Do I ever find cameo brooches, and if so, do you sell them? I do find them, I do buy them, and they do sell. Some faster than others. I think I have some that have been listed for a while, but others will sell really fast. I was bidding on some on an auction tonight and bowed out at $200, I think. Did I win them? Now I gotta go look. Yeah, I did not win them. And they were actually, I think they were real gold, but they were in a frame, so you couldn't see any marking. And there were 5. And at $40 a piece, I said, Cat, stop and behave. and I let them go. But I do like picking up cameos. If they are real gold, like 10, 12, 14 karat, you're going to get a lot of money for them.
I did just make a $70 Poshmark sale.
Yay.
No
I've done. How much have you guys done on Poshmark this month? Just out of curiosity. Thank you guys for bidding on the earrings.
Not a lot for us. I mean, we don't, I'm not sharing anything, so we don't.
Not you, them.
I was a zero
I don't know how to-
How much have y'all done in the last month, do you think, Kathy and Chris?
We can look at your spreadsheet real quick. Give us a moment.
Okay,
I feel
look
like
that
I'm
up.
kind
I'm
of
going to read the
split
question
between
because
eBay and
I've done like 1,000. I've done 1,000 on Poshmark in the last month,
More than
which
that.
I feel is pretty decent. It's not eBay for me, but it's decent. Cardigan Mode said, with promoted listings, eBay states your promoted item must be at least 2% or there won't be any promotion. Do you know if they just mean that listing or all promoted listings? I think the minimum is now 2%.
Right.
So you have to do 2% or more, you won't be promoted.
Right. That's exactly what I understood.
Looks like our total sales.
$3,056 on Posh and 89 sales in July so far.
Nice. Yeah, mine, I'm happy with where mine's at. I'm definitely happy with where it's at. Jeremy is getting on the number of question train along with Duncan and Richard. His question number 2 is, what do you do when you run out of space? And we all run out of space.
I built a building last month. So, and then I bought a storage locker that's bigger than the building. So I guess I need another one.
We currently in that problem, like literally right now. We normally try to keep around 1,000 items because, like, you guys can see our boxes. Basically, our boxes fit around 1,000 of the items that I sell. Right now, I'm at like 1,200 active items, so we're definitely squishing it in here right now. We've been working on maybe getting a new house soon, or I don't know. We have like a lot of things we want to do, but we just don't know the right one to do, and so.
If worse comes to worse, we could
build
get
a shed in the backyard.
either a shed or go rent a storage locker.
Sheds up. You can get multiple. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, we already have one, and so we can only have one more in our area.
Like, I've been like throwing around the idea of just buying land and just putting a shed on it, like $100,000 land and a shed with no house yet.
You could put sheds.
Yeah, no, I would.
We
get
just
a full
got our
barn, is what I
third
would-
shed.
Yeah, third shed.
That's a lot of sheds. You just buy more space, like they're saying. Basically, do whatever you have to do to get more space. Like me, I don't have the option to put a shed in my backyard. Like, there's not going to happen, and I don't have it like even close to me. Like, I would like the idea of buying land and putting sheds on. Like, that would be my eBay shed land. There's nothing close to my area. You're talking, you'd have to go 45 minutes out to even get something that was half reasonable. So mine is like, my only option would be do like a huge commercial warehouse, rent it, or rent storage units for this time. And right now we picked the storage units, and we've just consolidated 2 into one big one. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get bigger than that and have to get another one. So
I forgot to say, you could also just run a sale. That's something we do often. Like on Posh, I'll go send 50% offers on stuff that's been a little bit listed more than 90 days and a lot will sell, or same on eBay, just running a higher percentage sale on older items.
Can you run a sale on Posh, or do you have to send out the offers?
I mean, they make it really easy with their tool, but we also use Posh or VA, which makes it super easy. So yeah, but like
I send out automatic offers to likers. I use One Shop.
Yeah, like just on the Posh app itself, like that, you don't even have to pay for. Just this little tool at the top. You just click that, and you can just pick and choose the ones you're wanting to send.
Like multiple at once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so if I go through all 1,200, it takes like 20 minutes.
I have 6,000, so
okay, that would take a while.
It'll take a little bit.
An hour or two. But worth it to move a lot of items at once. So
yeah. So as far as space, I stop buying or move up. Like the middle aisle is stacked like up to here now. I could stack it even higher. So for me, and I lately, as my channel has grown, have been getting offers from people to buy out their inventory, and have told them all no. because I don't have space, and the minimal buying I am doing, like the auctions, are cherry picking for higher dollar to get more high dollar into my store to mix it up, because I like having those $3,000-$5,000 sales. That's just where I'm trying to go, is having more. I'm not trying to go to only that. That's definitely not my plan. But I stopped buying. I'm not, you know, I've said no to a lot of people that have messaged me, and it's hard. But like with 3 sheds, if I have to go get a storage locker, I say I have a problem. Okay. Now the 3rd shed is not mine. I am not allowed to touch it as my husband's woodworking shop.
Then.
But I have 2 sheds plus an old canning kitchen that's as big as a shed. So really, I have 3 sheds. So So I actually have room in both the sheds from where stuff is sold, but that means I need to list more and get it out of here and into the inventory sheds versus being in here. Just Fabulous Thrifty wants to know cash or accrual method and why.
For me, it's the cash. I'm not trying to keep up with anything complicated. And we started with that, and so it's been easier to just continue what I've always done.
Mm-hmm. We do cash.
But we're thinking about doing the other way? I
don't know. It's hard. I think it's hard to change. But we're going to FlipCon. We're going to be talking to Mark, too, hopefully.
Yeah.
I do cash as well.
I do cash as well.
Easier.
Mm-hmm.
I do it because my accountant said to, and I think it's probably a lot easier. So that's what I do. I know, though, Mark, too, I watched his course, and according to him, I should be doing accrual, but I am not. I'm listening to my accountant and doing cash. Could you please explain promoted percentages and what they do exactly? Again, Scott, there's really only one answer. Do you want to take this one?
I can try, and then everybody can correct me when I'm wrong. On the promoted percentages, when you promote an item, the highest percentages will be the first ones to show up. And so it really depends upon the market that you're in. If you're trying to sell Nike shoes that 10,000 other people have listed, then the amount that you promote at might make a difference. If you're listing an 1800s ceremonial horse dress, then you probably don't need to promote that. I say it because I have one right over there. Like I pick up weirder stuff than y'all. But promoting it at a high point wouldn't help me. It's just going to give more money to eBay. So the higher it is, you'll jump above somebody. If I promoted it 2 and you promoted it 4, yours will show up first. Is that my close?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure. That sounded really educated and good.
Yeah, I know over 5%. If you promote over 5%, eBay pushes you out to Google more. I do know that. So if you promote 5% or higher, it pushes it out to Google. I promote really high. I promote it trending +3 because I get more quantity sales because I buy so low. So I typically buy at 10, maybe 20% of my sales price. So I'm okay paying an extra 10% in fees. Plus, Poshmark fees are 20% anyways. So if I promote high, I'm just putting eBay fees right up there with Poshmark in my mind. So I figure why not promote it? Because it ends up about 20% with promoted fees and my final value fees. Mm-hmm. And I think that increases it. So it pushes you to the top of the listings. That's the main thing. So my only thing, Scott, and like a lot of mine probably shouldn't be promoted because I do a lot of that one-off, is that when I promote it, it'll come up in something similar. So if I have something and they're looking for something a little different and I'm promoted, my item might get popped up into their search list where they're not looking for my specific rare item, but my keywords are in their search, and then I can go to the top and hopefully get some extra sales that way as well.
I wonder how high I'm going to have to promote a ceremonial horse headdress to have it show up in something similar.
At least.
Well, maybe 50%. They want just a horse dress, Scott. Maybe there are a lot of horse dresses.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, honestly, it's my OCD, and I can't stand to see I have any listings to be promoted. That's the same reason with best offer. I can't see you have this many listings that you can add best offer to. I don't like buttons. And somebody told me they think that's a nurse thing, like because we have our checkoff list. I don't have any checkoff list except for my own anymore. But I think that's where that stemmed from.
I have a quick question since we're talking promoted. Any of you guys do the newer version of the promoted?
Hell no.
No?
I tried it.
Not just no, hell no.
I ran the experiment and gained absolutely no additional sales and spent, and it wasn't a large amount, but
Yeah.
it was a non-starter for me.
Okay.
I say that's for bigger companies that have money to throw at advertising. Like as a smaller seller, I don't have money to pay per click. Like I just don't have that money. I'm okay paying their promoted percent when I get paid because the buyer bought it, but I'm not paying just to like
Per click.
throw it in front of people. No way.
Good to know. We've never
Who
used
is that?
So.
Miss Chris, hello. Chris was at our camp where Scott was at my camp when Chris was there. Scott's bubblegum sales story is the best. Yes, hashtag Nurse Flipper Camp, Tennessee. I found a bag from an auction containing seven different knives. Do any of us have any knowledge about knives?
A little bit, if I'm on the hot seat. Are we talking pocket knives or are we talking like kitchen knives? Kitchen knives, obviously, brands like Cutco can sell extremely well and very quickly for a lot of money. And for pocket knives, you can go all the way from like a case pocket knife, $40-50, all the way up to a Henry pocket knife that could be $5,000 to $10,000. So it depends upon what you found.
Yeah, we've only sold a couple kitchen knives. They were Calphalon or whatever that's called, and they did okay. I mean, bought them for 50 cents and sold them for like $30-40. But I just saw a knife; it looked nice, and I ran comps. So,
Right.
I think it's the best way to do knives is if you have it in your hand, definitely run the comps on it because there's so many that look alike, especially if those it's like case knives. There's so many that look like that. Unless it's like in your hand, it's so hard to determine what it is just from a picture. Unless you really know it. I mean, people really know it. I'm sure there's little differences, but from people that are just like, it would be kind of difficult to me from a picture. And I've sold a lot of knives to know.
She
exactly
says it's
what
pocket knives.
Okay.
She just messaged me. It's pocket knives.
Okay.
don't know anything.
Yeah, I wanted Brad to learn about them because I thought he might be interested. And I know some can sell for really big money, and I know there are lots of pocket knives on Hybid. I see a lot of them, but he never did, and I am not that interested in pocket knives to do that.
Cool. I love pocket knives. I love pocket knives, and so I have a William Henry right now. It's not for sale, but that should bring 3,000, give or take, if I sold it. But it's got a Damascus blade and it's got titanium hardware so it really depends upon what you have. Case pocket knives, some of the older ones can be hundreds of dollars. And so, but most of the good pocket knives will have a name on them, and a lot of them have a number, and you can get on Google if you don't find it on eBay and find something very, very similar and get a very good idea of what it will sell for.
That's a good. Usually they have a name. If it doesn't have a name, I immediately am like, if it's been, there's just usually the good ones have a name and definitely a model number or some sort of number on it.
Yeah. Oh, let me give Chris her dolphin. I almost forgot your dolphin, Chris. Here you go.
Super chat.
All right, LRA, ready to start reselling. Already have a great buyer eBay rating. Is it possible to still use my buyer account but change the name to get the benefit of that rating? I'll answer that yes. I did that, and I would recommend that versus starting new. And I switched mine all over to my business too. It was my personal, and I just transferred it into my business name. So I would recommend doing that. Look, it's Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy, my good friend, Old School Flips. Where is your favorite place to source?
Well, if I could find some of Jimmy's hats at wherever I went, that'd be good. I like sourcing at the place I'm heading to next. So it just varies. The storage locker I'm doing is great fun, but I got a message today that a lady's got a bunch of Anna Lee dolls from the 60s, over 100 of them. She said I could have them. So that's my favorite place to source.
I would go there really fast.
So I like all of it. Like most people here, my desire for one over the other isn't the problem. It's my desire for all of them.
I think I have that problem too. I like sourcing anywhere as long as I can find shoes. And now Jimmy, actually, we were with Jimmy up in Denver a couple weeks ago at Mile High Thrift. And now that's my new favorite store that I'll never be able to go to again because it's an hour and a half away. But
you can totally drive an hour and a half away.
I know, but it was
That's
only a
not
good
like
deal
you have
because
to fly there.
it was senior day, and thankfully one of them was able to get us a senior discount. Otherwise, the shoes were kind of expensive, but they had really cool shoes. But anyways, yeah, I think just regular Goodwill is my favorite. I can get in and out really fast, get the shoes I want. Not at the price I want, but at a good enough price to still flip quickly.
And we do have a lot around us.
Yeah.
So like 10 or so.
Hands down yard sales. Just a big yard sale fan.
Hands down, high bid. 110%.
Very geographical, huh? Like we all.
we all had different answers for it. It's really important to source what works well for you in your area.
Yeah.
Like I'm very, very rural, and actually, you know what? 2 new thrift stores. I have 4 thrift stores in my little town. I've not been to them because I haven't been sourcing, and I don't get out much. I'm kind of a hermit. I make my husband go do everything. But today I went to the doctor, and there are 2 new, there are like 4 or 5 in my little town now. So one day I'll have to go exploring and check them out. I was like, where are these thrift stores? They're just like coming up. And we have like, how many? I think we have 3 lights, maybe. Yeah. 3 lights in our town, 3 traffic lights to give you an idea. And now there's a thrift store everywhere now.
At every light.
Hi, Kayla.
In our neighborhood.
There's Julian's wife, everybody. Say hello.
Hello.
Celia Swarm, would you recommend doing vacation mode over extended shipping time if you will be gone for a few days?
I've done both. And so it really depends upon your state of mind. Normally, hearing it go off and having to respond to a few questions doesn't bother me at all. It's one of our favorite things to sit down and eat somewhere and have it go off and figure out if we paid for supper.
Yeah.
So we normally change the extended time. If I make a sale, then I send them a note and say, hey, we're going to be shipping on this day. If it's a problem, let me know. We can cancel it or you can wait. And most people are very happy. So I do the extended time, send people a note, and I prefer that. If any of the others have ever done it, maybe it's just me. When I've turned on vacation mode and it hides your store on eBay, then when you turn it back on, it doesn't come back on. It has to repopulate. It's much better on Poshmark. It just makes your items available again. But I like selling stuff when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever turned on vacation mode on eBay.
Right.
So yeah, I would go with the time away. I mean, although we've never went anywhere for more than like a week. So if it was more than that, I'd feel kind of bad.
You're beating me because I don't go more than like
them.
4 days.
Yeah. I'd feel bad making them wait too long because some people don't notice that it says at the top, this item, the seller's away or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on how long you're going to be. Like a few days, I would definitely just extend the shipping time, and also like your mind frame on like where you're going. If it is a vacation and you need to like unplug, then go ahead and do vacation mode, and not even because sometimes we go to the mountains and we go fishing, and there's not even like internet or it's very spotty. 100% going to do vacation mode there because you're not going to be able to get like the messages in or anything like that or talk to people. Then I do an automated message like, hey, I'm out of town. And, when they buy something or message me, you can set up an automated message. I think only if you get a sale.
Up to 15 days, guys.
Yeah.
So up to 15 days, you can still accept sales. And you can do like Julian said. That's what I did was the time away for, I think it was like 5 or 6 days when we went to Tennessee. And I had an automated message. We are out of town. We will return on this day and we will be shipping on this day. So everybody that bought from me automatically got that message. I don't see myself taking more than a 2-week vacation. But I did the time away versus just extending my handling time because I like that little automated message that automatically went out. That's why I preferred that one. And I like that. So it like, hello, in case you didn't read the like highlighted banner on top of this listing, which they don't, then yeah.
So here's the
Karen
question.
said,
Sorry.
oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
If you do time away and you're out answering messages and all that, does that then mean that you can write some of that trip off? Is it business related at that point?
We gotta ask Mark.
Go sourcing while you're.
I'm buying stuff if I go on vacation.
Yeah. No, we do too.
Oh,
yeah.
I always go sourcing if we're on vacation.
Oh yeah, that's a must.
Well, see, my vacations are all like centered around that. I think
that's what we do for fun. So
yeah.
Yeah. Karen wants to know if you were hoping to get some extra sales during back to school shopping season, what would you list now? She said she's hoping to pull some items from her death pile to list first.
I mean, kids' clothes, school stuff, backpacks, shoes, those kind of things. And I don't have any of that stuff, so good luck.
I agree. Like, because I've been shopping for our kids. I've bought them shoes.
How about horse headdresses?
Kids' clothing. What was I going to say? Oh, like this isn't, I mean, it's kind of back to school related because like as a parent, I am always thinking we're going to need snow boots and coats. So like I've already been selling stuff this summer, even that's kids, snow boots, coats, stuff like that. So I feel like now is a good time to start listing that.
Yeah, those things.
That's a good back to school item right there.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll have some weird costume day that they're going to need something like that for.
Definitely.
Somewhere their mascot is the Mustangs, and
you need that.
Anything with Dr. Seuss, they're going to need that at school for Dr. Seuss Day every other month.
I don't really sell much, so everything they just said, I don't sell much back to school items unless they're golfing related and they need kids.
There's
clubs.
school golf. There's school golf.
Yep. Training aids for golf and stuff like that. Kids training aids and
yeah. For me, and I don't have them. I would think the clothes, like I've already bought Dalton's clothes off of eBay. I bought his shorts off eBay. I did buy. I bought his new shoes off of eBay. I bought some Sperry's off eBay for him. So for me, it's mostly clothes because like the other stuff, like crayons and pen, like that stuff's so cheap at the store. I don't think you'd really be listing that on your eBay store. What else? I did like if you have any like we get like that blanket because he's starting pre-K, like the little pillow and blanket things, those. Other than that, I think it's mainly it's like Kathy and Chris's stuff. It's clothes and shoes. It's clothes and shoes, which I don't do a ton of unless it's vintage and typically it's adult. It's not. I give away my kids' clothes. And now actually my husband's cousin's wife is a DCF investigator and they need toys and clothes for the kids that come in. So that's where all of that stuff will be going for me now because she said she can take as much as I can give her. So that's what I will be doing with mine. I don't know if you saw this in the chat, Julian. Maria wants to know if you have many like logo items, like your merch for sale.
We don't have a ton of it. Kayla is actually over that, and we have an Etsy store, and I'm pretty sure it's linked in all my YouTube videos down in the description. We don't have a lot, but we're ramping that up. But she creates all of it by hand.
Does she have a Cricut?
Mm-hmm.
I have a Cricut. I mean, it's at my mom's. I was like, do I really want to make stuff? I thought about getting it back, and then I was like, wait a minute, Kat, wait a minute.
I don't have the patience for it.
It's at my mom's house.
Yeah, it's
weeding, but it's kind of therapeutic to weed the vinyl. Right, it is. It's therapeutic to weed the vinyl.
That would not be therapeutic for me. That's the opposite of therapeutic.
It was for me. Carol, I don't know what you're talking about. If you could clarify, at what point do you get 10% fees? I have 1,000 item store. If you mean the 10% off of your fees, it's not 10% fees, it's 10% off. You have to be a top rated seller. You have to have free 30-day returns, and you have to have 1-day handling. Those are the qualifiers for that. And then you get 10% off of your fees. So you don't get 10% fees, you get 10% off of your fees.
Right.
Just to clarify. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Do all of us sell items overseas or just some? She said she's about to start doing international, but she only is going to do lighter and smaller items.
I ship through the global shipping program, and that's just like free money, turning that on. There's only a few items I don't put on. Pocket knives are not something I put on the global shipping. There's a few things that you don't want to ship overseas. But other than that, I turn on global shipping and I let eBay do it. And it just increased my sales with really no problems at all for me.
Ditto.
Yeah, like we've thought about doing the like pirate ship international shipping. Kat, don't you have a video on that? Or
Standard
something?
export
I
rate.
thought about it. I just don't like like if there's any problems at all and me having to conversate with the buyer, that's not my favorite thing. So I just like doing it through
They
eBay.
typically buy it and that's it, Kathy. They don't message. Like I rarely get
It
messages.
never gets like held up in customs or anything. And
no,
because we've had some of those
and
through global
standard
shipping, but they just
international,
take care of it.
like if you're doing standard international, it's cheaper for the buyer. And like if you're selling like 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 items, I would do standard international. A lot of my international sales on standard go to Canada because you can ship 1 pound to Canada for $13. So I get a lot of sales going to Canada, including like my license plate stuff under a pound. I would think about it, but I only do stuff I don't stand to lose too much money because most of the, like I've only ever had one issue in 2 years and I just refunded them and ate it, took a loss because that's why I don't do expensive items go GSP because they give you more protection. But the lower cost, I mean, if I stand to lose like 10 or $20, I'm okay because I've only had one issue ever. And I do quite a bit of international sales. Did we all answer that?
Yep. GSP all the way.
Yeah. So I do all my items. Sorry. I like interjected. I do all my items overseas. I do standard international on $50 or less of my cost. So I might still have $200, $250 items going standard international. If my cost is over 50, they go GSP. Look who has a question for us.
What?
Julian?
I know why.
I know why too. And I store mine the same way you do. But let's see what Scott and Kathy and Chris do. How do you store your boxes you get that are not from USPS? Do you break them down or store them in a closet?
I do the same thing Julian does. I got you.
Thank you.
We typically just
I
break them
I
down.
know that I am wading into a family argument here.
It's the only way. It's the only way is my way.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Scott.
like
One for
whatever Southern Pearl Thrifter said, she's wrong.
Hold on, I'll zoom.
Yep, that's
The
what
file.
mine looks like.
We had
Whoa,
that
I'm
last
too
week,
close.
and then we broke them all down. So a little bit of both.
Woo!
We're kind of talking about going away from that, honestly.
Paying for boxes versus trying to like do the recycle thing. Like we'll still obviously recycle the boxes, but like not saving all these random size boxes, just having like the ones that you get with your eBay credits and stuff. Because most of the time we're just using the free USPS boxes anyways. And when we need a brown box or whatever, we can, like the eBay coupon covers enough for us to go the 3 months or whatever before we need more. So
And we sell
I
pretty much the
wish.
same
I
size
wish.
stuff.
I use a lot of
Fantastic.
poly mailers. So yeah. Again, clothes and shoes. I'm not selling
Yeah.
breakables and stuff that I need boxes for, like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I need very random big size boxes.
Case in point, I just sold a very large pewter ram head tray. It's weird looking. It was also like a very odd shape. Went to my box pile, looked through it and said, right there. That's a good size box. Fit perfectly. If that was broken down, I would have never seen it. It would take me twice as
It
long.
is satisfying when it like fits perfectly.
Oh,
in
it
the
was great.
box
I
you
was
have,
like,
though.
I know. You're like, that's the perfect box.
So do you store it in that box after you have the box?
No, it was sold. It's sold, and then I went to the box pile.
Okay.
Yeah. My box pile is always ongoing because I use some, and then I get some, and then I use some. And so I have different sizes in there like all the time. Big, small, odd shaped.
For our
I
bigger
can't
stuff,
break them down.
like the odd
Mine
stuff.
are not just in a closet, though. They take up the whole 8 by 12 loft above my head. But here's the thing. So I will tell you, Kayla, I have my old shipping room in my house. I decided I'm going to organize. I'm going to break these boxes down. And guess what? They're still there 3 years later, broke down. I never used them. So like that's why I should on my corner by my shipping table. So the big boxes are above my head in the loft, the like really big ones. But the small ones that I reuse, like 8 by 6 by 4 and stuff like that, I do a lot of art. So like I get dog food in Amazon boxes. So like the long, flat, wide boxes that dog food comes in are perfect for art. So those big ones go up. But actually last week, the guy that helps me clean put them all up there. I'm like, put those back down. I'm like, if they're in the loft, I won't use them. So now he knows to stack them in that corner because I hate seeing the stack. So I'll grab those. Now Brad will not, he will not reuse, but he's using a new box every time. It's only me that reuses the boxes. He goes to his box sizes he knows, and unless it's too big, then he will go hunting for a box. But I go through we ship out 15 to 20 a day, and we ship out 50 to 75 on a Monday. So like if I keep 10 or 15 Amazon boxes, they're gone in a day. Yeah. So the big issue for me is the big boxes, which are above my head, and I never know when I'm going to need them. But they would never fit in a closet. That's like almost 100 square foot of space for boxes and bubble wrap is all that's up there. My 3 dogs are in the shed. I see the black one behind me. It was storming when we started, and there's thunder. So all 3 of them came running into the shed with me. I think Chris is asking, what do we do if we get lowballed? I think we already kind of discussed that a little bit at the beginning of the show. I think we all said, well, Kathy and Chris don't take offers, but the rest of us said we would block them. People, I will tell you, because I have several Swarovski ornaments. People are not, they're very bad about it on Swarovski ornaments. I get those as well. Judy is asking Kathy, how do you avoid offers on Poshmark and Mercari? Do you just ignore them? That's true. You can't turn them off on Poshmark and Mercari.
Yeah, I have different business models for each platform. So Posh, I just price way higher and often can even accept a like 50% off offer. Not like every item, but some items. Or at least I have the option to. I'm willing to accept less on Posh, even though the fee's higher, because the shipping's so simple, and the boxes are free. And on
yes,
Mercari,
I love that I can use any USPS box with Posh.
It's so simple.
It's
I'd rather sell everything.
I ship handkerchiefs and padded flat rate envelopes. I'm like, I'm not using a poly I paid for. It's going in padded flat rate envelope.
And then Mercari, I use their promotion button. So like I price really high to begin with, and I let it auto price drop down to my lowest, and my lowest actually still has another 15-20% that I'm willing to accept an offer on. So on Mercari, they can only offer, I think, 25% off your list price. Otherwise, it won't even let them put the offer
it
through.
won't let them put lower.
At that point, I'm willing to accept any offer that comes in.
I get more low ballers on, and I don't price different on Posh and Mercari. Mine is only higher on Etsy. Etsy's the only one I price higher on. And I get the most low ballers on Poshmark out of all 4 platforms. Yep. Poshmark has the worst. And I just simply, like, I'm like, decline.
I just ignore them. If I think it's too low, I just never respond.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, no. That flipper dude, I see your question, but it's not very specific. So if you could... He's asking how we divide up our profits, but that's like very a wide, broad question. If you could be more specific.
I can answer it.
What does he tell me what he means then, so I can answer it.
Well, I'm married, And so it's usually
You get
like,
nothing.
I get nothing,
Got
and
zero.
Melody gets it all. So that's how we're dividing it up, and it's worked that way great for like 33 years now. So
If it works, don't change it.
I assume that's what they're talking
I
about.
don't know what he means.
I don't get the
I don't know what
question
he
either. Yeah.
means.
If what he's talking
Are you
about
talking
is,
like reserving
are
a
we
certain
allocating
percentage?
our profits towards certain portions of the business? And I know for us, it's way more global than that. We buy. I don't have a budget for buying. I buy great stuff when I find it for whatever I can afford to spend, and then it goes back in. My whole life is built around the business, so it
Yeah.
goes to supporting what we do.
Same, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, pay the bills and then buy more.
Yeah, I basically pay myself exactly what I need to pay the bills, and the rest of the profit goes back into the business. And I have 3 employees that I have to pay as well, so I have to take that into account. It's not just actually if you count my mom, it's 4. So really I have 4, not counting myself. Deborah wants to know, and I think this is strictly opinion because I think none of us can know this for sure. Do you think eBay punishes you for declining offers? I recently declined one, which I seldom do, and went 2 days without a sale. Now I live in fear of declining.
No, you're in. I decline if it's not a good offer, and so it was just timing for you, bad luck, But no, I don't think so. I've never, and I've declined sometimes out of spite. You've already made too many offers. No, I don't care what you offer. But
Yeah.
no, I don't think so.
If
eBay makes money when you make money.
Right. If
so-
anything, they're probably like, okay, let's just keep pushing this item out. They know you're declining. You're at least active. You're willing to,
Right.
sell the item, but just not for that price.
Yeah, I would think not.
Yeah, I don't think they do, but I do think they might reward you for accepting or countering because it's a little more activity. And I find that when I will accept lower offers if I'm having a bad sales day, and it seems to like perpetuate more sales. So I don't feel like I get punished for declining because I decline a lot, and I still get a lot of sales. But I think accepting them and countering them might bump you up like your other listings up in the algorithm, but none of us know that for sure. Miss Judy is saying, I sold a sewing machine. Now the buyer's wanting to send it back. She states it doesn't have accessories, but I didn't have that in the listing. Will eBay make me refund her? I'm going to answer this because I think there's only one answer, and that is if your buyer says it's not as described and they assume that those accessories were in there, then yes, eBay will force the return if they open it up item not as described. So in the future, what I would suggest was something like a sewing machine or something like that would be putting no accessories included, just to kind of cover yourself. Because I think a lot of people might assume certain things come with certain items, and then when they don't get them, they expect. So if depending on how they open it, yes, most likely yes. Okay, here, Aaron has a tip for everybody for 127. Aaron says pick a denser, larger area for something like 127. Start there and branch out so you don't waste too much time. So she's saying pick that popular area or denser where there will be more sales so you're not like few and far between on the sales. I'm going to give this to Kathy and Chris. I bought some UGG boots and then went to list them and found they have no inside tag. How would you list them, or would you even list them?
I would not list them. I mean, sometimes I've gotten better at checking sizes now to make sure they're there. But yeah, I have a pair sitting over here that's missing a size I didn't check because I got excited they were $5 only and looked like new. But anyways, I've
done that.
Yeah.
I've measured though. I'm like, I paid the money. I'm measuring these shoes.
And then I look like a return waiting to happen to me.
Yeah. And with UGG boots specifically, they have that holographic tag on the inside of one of the boots, and if that's missing, they'll claim that it's not real. So,
okay,
yeah.
I would just take.
See, I don't do a lot of that. That's why I said I would give that to you guys.
Yeah.
Did you guys say you are speaking at FlipCon?
We're not speaking. We're just attending.
Oh, okay.
Hanging out.
So, where did it go? Somebody asked. Now I can't find it. Somebody asked the dates of FlipCon. It is August 24th. Hold on. I'm going and I don't know. August 24th and August 25th. And I will be speaking on one of the panels. And I'm excited. Listen, Richard's coming. Now I know Kathy and Chris are coming. I get to meet Clara from List Perfectly, who is one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world. So I'm very excited about meeting Clara and Doug. There are a lot of people coming that I have never met. So I'm very excited to go.
Too, right?
What panel are you on? Like, what's your topic?
My topic is upscaling your business.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if they put that out. If you get me in trouble.
Oh, I feel like they did. Like, I think
You
that's
just
like,
did to 550 people, but
Spoilers.
Nobody tell.
nobody say anything.
Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna go to put it on Instagram right now.
Okay. I'll be like, sorry, can't come. They told on me. I won't tell you who's on my panel though. Vicky, how do I make the sale if I have 90 views on an item but no watchers?
Vicky, if you're getting a ton of views and you're not getting any watchers, I mean, it's a signal that one is it's just too expensive. You've got it priced too high, or it's not something that the title isn't reflecting what the people are seeing in the pictures. They're opening it and it isn't what they were expecting to see. So again, I don't pay attention to views. I list this stuff and sometimes I'll sell something. I'm like, wow, that was like, I sold something the other day and it had priority padded flat rate shipping for $5.99. So
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I listed it during the Clinton administration, evidently. So it's been a while.
I was like 5 back then. What the question?
I think Scott answered it right.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
I can't tell you how many views I have on a single item on. I've never even ever looked at that. But I guess if I did look at that and wanted to do so, I would just look over the listing and see if there's anything I can add to the title, double check comps, make sure your shipping's not like, sometimes calculated shipping will show a ridiculous amount to the buyer. So I guess just double check that. If you can ship it cheaper, like UPS, maybe just do a flat rate shipping or something like that. So
And we've recently started a tiered sale.
Oh, I saw that video pop up, but I didn't watch it.
So, I mean, we didn't really go into too much depth, but anything that's, 0 to 30 days is not on sale.
Was it hard to do? Because I've thought about using that model.
It's pretty easy.
Do you show how to do it?
I don't.
we should.
We can.
It's not.
we're just
I've been
trying
doing
it
that
out.
for years.
Yeah.
Well, we got the idea from Lonnie at Shed Flips, and I think you went back and watched his old video. Or
Yeah. Lonnie does have a video. Do you have a video on it, Scott?
No, I don't.
Okay.
It's pretty easy.
We're
You
like,
just-
no. Well, now we know what we should all make a video on.
Tomorrow there will be a lot of videos on.
It's pretty
Tiered
straightforward,
sale.
though.
I think Lonnie is where I first heard it too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a good idea, but I never implemented.
Yeah,
Took us
it's
about
very
2 years to
simple.
get it done.
When you open the promotion part where you're going to do a markdown and sale, sort it by age,
Mhm.
and you take the
You could filter
whatever
out
direction it goes.
Yeah,
And the
but
new
if you
stuff I don't-
have to pick and you can only pick 500, that won't work for me because I have 6,000. That's why I went to doing the whole store.
Right, and you
Right.
can if you're putting everything on sale. I don't have the enthusiasm for listing as many items as you do, so it's not ever going to be an issue for
My
me.
goal was 5,000, and somehow I've just passed 6,000, and I'm not slowing down. So I mean,
So, Kat,
goals change.
You can select all. What we did, because there's some stuff that we don't want to have in that sale, but you can select all, right? All 500.
You can select all in
More
that
than
day.
500, right?
Yeah. So if you have more than 500, you just have to run multiple promotions. So you're
Oh,
basically
by the
capped at
date.
500.
I would just have to open it by the date and then choose
Right.
all within that date.
Yeah. So we've
See,
sorted
this
by.
sounds too complicated for me.
It's not as. It's
It only took
complicated
him
up
like
front,
20,
right?
30 minutes, and that was with watching Lonnie's video again and everything. So
Next time it'll take
Okay.
like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the point is
So-
you're spending that time up front and you're saving the time on the back end, right?
So,
Of
yeah.
dealing with
Yeah, then
resetting
it's already
prices
done.
and all that kind of stuff. So
That makes sense. Julian, what say you if they have 90 views and no watchers?
My biggest thing would be check your shipping. I've done that, and you're shipping something you maybe accidentally typed in like 22 inches when it's really like 2 inches, and it shot it up on the USPS oversize, or it was supposed to be 3 pounds and you actually did 33 pounds. I've done that with like golf clubs before.
I
was
did
like, this
3
thing-
pounds instead of 30 today.
Yeah, see,
No.
that's the way you don't want to be. Is that
Yeah.
one? Yeah, I'd rather do 33. And so I would just say, look at the listing and make sure everything's correct.
Yeah, and I mean, if not, like Scott, I think everybody covered it. I would say check your price first and shipping, because those would be the two main things. Because if they're clicking, they're viewing it, so something's making them want to see it, and then something's making them not watch it and not purchase it, which would make me think price or shipping. I wouldn't go towards pictures since you're getting the views, unless, like Scott said, the title kind of leads them to believe it's one thing. They click in and it's not what they're expecting. Runaway Live, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
Miss Isabel wants to know, do we have a YouTube business card that we pass around with eBay and webpage details?
I do.
we don't yet. I don't know. We haven't had time to do anything like that. So.
No, I have a business card, but it does not have anything about my YouTube. It only has like my name and phone number, like yard sales. If I see something that they're like, "Yeah, call me," and then I'll give them my number or whatever. But I don't have anything that says my YouTube channel.
would be useful. For
I
yard
do.
sales.
I do. It says I buy. It says my YouTube, my Instagram, and I don't go out in person very much, so I don't give them out very much because I don't go out that much. T. Brooks wants to know, Julian, will you tell the story about throwing axes? Is it a long story? Short
No,
story?
super short. Turns out
Okay.
we threw
Tell
axes
us.
on our honeymoon, me and Kayla. That's what we learned. That was one of our things that we did. And
At each other?
Yeah, at each other. And guess what? I can dodge them better than her. Like, so that, it's not really so much like, if you can dodge it, it's pretty good. And and we just learned how to throw axes. It was in my last video. And I was a really good, I was pretty good at it. I'm not going to lie. I was way better than I thought. She was actually weirdly good at it too, which kind of scared me a little bit. So now we have no axes in the house. They're not allowed.
No axes.
No axes.
If you buy axes to resell, they stay in the storage unit.
That's right. And I have the keys.
Now she throws them at boxes.
Yeah, that she doesn't like coming out of the closet.
You can't use this now. Katrina says, I bought a pair of shoes that turned out to be 2 different sizes, both left shoes. What is your recommended solution?
Oh,
Throw them in
wow.
the garbage.
I am going to defer to them.
I literally
gonna
would
take
just
an L
throw
on
them
that one.
away.
Yeah. We have
Like-
sold single shoes before, but
Well, one time.
and it was a Rothy, right?
Yeah.
So it was,
And then I've tried again, and it just kept getting canceled. And so I was just like, okay, we're not doing that anymore.
yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't even donate them because like it's
Somebody else
just
do
the
the same
chance
thing.
that like you
That
don't
will
want
happen
somebody
again.
Yeah, like the Uggs with missing size, I would donate those because someone could try them on in
Yeah.
the store and make sure they fit them. But like 2 different feet or 2 different,
Sizes.
it's not really helpful to anybody.
Mhm.
I mean, it's
I think
probably
if
helpful
they're
to somebody. But
expensive, there are amputees.
Yeah.
If they're expensive shoes, I would list them.
Mhm.
If they're like $20 to $30 for a normal pair, I would probably not list them. But if
Taking the
they're like
shoelaces out.
$50 or up, probably going to list a single shoe, because there are people that need single shoes for sure.
Yeah, it really just
Um,
depends on what your time is worth, and
And if you're
If
willing
you
to
wanna
get
do it.
return over and over and over again
Like,
because
we've-
people don't read. Like on these ones I did, single shoes, I literally wrote amputee one shoe only or left foot only
Like all
on
And
caps.
they
the
still
main
thought
picture.
they were getting a pair.
Yes. So
It was
luckily,
bought like 3 times. and
luckily I
then
never shipped it. And
They asked the question,
yeah.
"Is this just one shoe?" We're like, "Yes."
How many
Exactly
shoes
how
do you
I
see
described
in the
it.
picture?
Right.
Like, do you really think you were getting this
So-
for like $8? Like,
That's
you,
why
you
we
know what I
kind
mean?
of like never again, right?
Yeah.
Like we're just not doing it.
Yeah,
So.
that makes sense. I've never tried it. Laura has a question for Scott. What type of ephemera have you had success selling?
I love ephemera because I have a part of my undergraduate degree was in history, so I love that kind of stuff. I picked up a ton of World War II ephemera from a pilot. I got everything. I got everything. I had his silver star and everything, but I had the write up for it. And so if you're picking up World War II or really any military stuff, letters that were sent home to, that were written by the soldier or sent home, and the more rare it is, the more it goes up. So World War II soldier letters would be terrific, but World War II nurses' letters going home would be even more valuable because there'd be fewer of them that survived. So ephemera is always worth looking up, but if it's something everybody has, that's probably not worth as much as the rare stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I do good with old pamphlets and brochures, but when I say good, it's like bread and butter. It's like $5 to $10, but you can get them for a quarter, so yeah. Richard, we are not doing a filter bonfire. I think I will give them to somebody else who can try and sell them because my burn pile is currently about 8 feet high and 10 feet wide because we had a burn ban, but now it's been raining every day and we can't burn it because the rain won't stop. So it was like feast or famine. First it was too dry and now the rain won't stop. So I'm not going to burn them. I'm going to just give them away. I lowered the price at $300. I'm going to take a loss and somebody else can bring them to the flea market and sell them for $1 or $2 and make some money. And they need to get out of my loft. I probably should list them tomorrow. I'm not going to, plus I don't know what's in the filters. I could like kill us.
Asbestos.
Yeah.
Live on YouTube. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Snow Mary Vintage wants to know, have you ever been sad that an item sold? I just got a Chaching for a Blinko water pitcher. I priced it high because I loved it, but it was an excellent offer, so I took it.
I don't, after I started getting serious with eBay, for me, stuff has just almost no emotional value at all anymore. The people in your life are what's important, the relationships that you've developed with other people. And so I just, I just don't have that.
We sell a lot of our own things, like our kids' clothes, shoes, stuff like that. So sometimes if I had like a favorite outfit that they wore, or shirt, then I'll be a little sad if it sells because they don't fit it anymore. But we usually have a picture of them wearing it, so like it's not the end of the world. Otherwise, just once like something sells super fast, I almost like regret it because I'm like,
did you
I
price
must have,
too
like,
low?
Yeah. But otherwise, I mean, it's still always a good sale, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm usually pretty happy. Like, we're so unattached to items. Like, we sold Kayla's wedding dress. Like, we're like, hey, never gonna use this thing again. Flip it on eBay. That thing sold in like 2 weeks. I was pretty surprised how fast it sold. So yeah, like,
I need
we
to plug
don't.
in my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, so nope. I'm happy when stuff sells.
Yeah, not really. I'm with Scott. I'm not really attached to stuff. And if I was super attached, I probably would not sell it. I just started collecting raku pottery, which might be dangerous because when I do stuff, I don't do it little. So I've gotten like 5 little medallions and I've got a vase on my nightstand. And yeah. Okay, I have to do this. Hold on. I have to do this to put up this question. Harry Humstone is who gave me the dummy in the picture with me that I use as my picture when I'm coughing and hiding and the signal is crap. That is Sir Andrew, and I will actually look. I I bugged the crap out of Harry 3 years ago to give me that dummy, because Harry did his lives with that dummy. The dummy is still, he's within 5 feet of me, Harry. I can almost touch him. And people have tried to buy him for me. Multiple people have tried to buy him, and he is not for sale. He's sitting actually right next to 2 or 3 Commonwealth Picker mugs and an Arcade Treasure mug sitting on my shelf close to me. So I told you I would never give him away. I would never sell him, and I won't. Even though Brad hates him, Brad finally quit turning him around. When he was in the house, every time I would come out, Brad had him facing the wall. Brad would not let him face out, but in the shed, Brad just leaves him alone. So, Mindy is asking, I've been selling on Poshmark 4 years, make good money. Can List Perfectly take those listings and cross list to eBay? Because that's what's stopping me.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do, Mindy. They don't do it. You have to click. It's not a lot of work, though. It's literally one click. You read through stuff and submit it. I would recommend moving them from Poshmark into your List Perfectly catalog. That would be my suggestion. And then putting them onto eBay, because then you can just end the listings from List Perfectly instead of having to go to the well, I guess that sells on one, you just have to end it on the other. But if you ever wanted to expand to like Mercari or Etsy, it would make life a lot easier by having it in the catalog. I have 2 List Perfectly videos. The most recent one shows how we put everything in the catalog and then it goes out to the other platforms. But it's super easy. I don't know if Richard put it in. My code is a nurse flipper to get 30% off your first month. And I seriously, guys, Clara with List Perfectly and Joel with American Bubble Boy, which I've had affiliates with both of them for years, and they both are super supportive of the reseller community, and they're just amazing. And I don't promote stuff I'm not using myself, and I've been using List Perfectly, I think almost 3 years now, and American Bubble Boy close to 2 years. So definitely that to me means a lot. I know the owners, I interact with them. Clara probably hates me because I've been messaging her, but yeah. So I wish that's who needs to go to FlipCon. Joel needs to go to FlipCon from American Bubble Boy. I should message him and be like, Joel, come to FlipCon. That would be great. Oh, and then Mindy is asking, does it have to be a computer or can I on my phone? It has to be on a computer to cross post. You can get a cheap Chromebook and it will work, because that's what I did when I used to do it from work and I couldn't access it from the work's computers. So you can do it from a little Chromebook you can get on eBay for a couple $100. Debbie's asking Kathy and Chris, how do you organize those banker boxes? And I think you guys have several videos on it, don't you? About your storage system?
We talk about it in a lot of our What Sold videos.
Yeah, no dedicated video yet.
Basically, we just make a note of what box it's in. It's very simple. We try to keep it as random as possible in the box, as opposed to keeping all of your horse headdresses in one box. You don't want to do that. So one box will have a pair of jeans, it'll have a pair of shoes, it'll have a t-shirt. That way when you're looking for a pair of shoes, you're grabbing the one thing. So it's just to save time. But that's
I do that too. With similar items, I'll put them on different shelves. Mm-hmm.
Unless they're the exact same thing.
We do the same thing.
My husband does not. So I know if he's pulling that day, I just sold a set of sheets. Well, he just grabbed one because it looked like the picture and off it went. And I just had to ship out the flat sheet that went with it because he just grabbed one. I'm like, did you ship out 2 sheets or 1? I don't remember. I'm like, dude. Anyways, so I try and pull most times. I might let him, if I'm busy, I might let him pack by himself. But I like to do the pulling just because of that. So when I put away, and I use a lot of bankers boxes too, a lot. I think there's over 100 here in this shed, and there's probably 40 or 50 in another one, and I'm adding them. So I'm trying to let stuff move off my shelves, enough room to fit another banker's box, because I really like using the banker's boxes because they don't get too heavy. And I have somebody that lists away from my house, so it's easy to send her with a marked banker's box, and then she lists it and it comes back. Linda, your name's really not that hard to say. I don't know why I can't say it. Became a member, so we get the other dolphin. Here's the other. This one's kind of weird.
Welcome to the flipping family.
Thank you, Linda. What do we have coming up? A week from Saturday, like this coming Saturday, is our next sourcing, and then the second Thursday in August is the eBay store reviews. Other sites would not pull. Yeah, list perfectly. 100% will. 100% will pull them over. I actually. And this, when I tried having 2 eBay stores, I actually used List Perfectly to take all of my listings from my other store, put them into the catalog, then I ended them, and then I put them into my main store and transferred them all that way. And it was so easy. And I think a couple of people have done that buying out stores. Like if somebody bought her sister's eBay store, they use List Perfectly. You sign into the account you're buying, transfer it all into the catalog, then sign into yours, and you can put it all into your account and get their listings too. So it's super, super convenient. And I have not had any issues. There are a few technical glitches, which you expect with any software, but they are super fast about, like, they'll put a banner up top and notify you, like if you need to update the software, they know there's a glitch. They're really, really fast answering too. All right, Miss Mindy, here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
Now my thing just totally skipped forward an hour. We are not going to make it through to 9 o'clock again. So definitely remember next week, get here early, get your questions in, because we're not making it past like the first hour. Beachwalker22 sent a $5 super chat. Do we have videos dealing with shipping stress? I feel like I need everything ready to ship before I list, but I'm hearing to do that differently.
I'm not sure I understand the question. I have 2 different shipping videos I've done. One of them is literally just you're shipping with me and you can see what I do. And on the other one, I talk about some of the differences between shipping and like between first class and priority and stuff like that. As far as having everything ready, I'd like to tell you that I do, but tonight I have to ship an IBM Model F keyboard that I have no clue. I don't have a closet full of boxes that are ready to go.
See, if you did, you would
got a
have
closet full of boxes. Yeah.
And so I will have to make a box for it. And but I mean, it's a couple $100. I'll make a box.
Yeah, I mean, like 99% of the stuff I sell is clothes and shoes, and it all fits in like the standard boxes that USPS provides or a poly mailer. We have several different sizes of poly mailers, so I already know, like, we type in the weights of our items into our spreadsheet like before I even photograph the items or anything. So when I go to list them, I already know the weight, and I already know it's going to fit in a standard size packaging. So I don't really have that stress. But yeah, if I occasionally, like, we sold like 2 side tables recently that were fairly large. Those we found the box ahead of time, measured it, made sure the furthest place it could go, how much is the max it would cost to ship, and then stuff like that. So yeah, that's stressful, and that's why I don't like to do that kind of stuff very often. But yeah.
But when you're making $100, right?
I mean, $100 for a lot of work. I'd rather just list 10 pairs of shoes.
What about $300?
Yeah.
And a little bit of bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that no, I don't really have a video on that, and I definitely wouldn't pre-package things just because that would not be the best idea. Just because picture somebody's going to ask you a question,
You're
then like
gonna get a
bundle
question.
things. Yeah, that's just not a good
Can you
idea.
send me a picture of this?
Yeah,
How wide
yeah,
is
that's.
this?
And then if you like combine shipping and stuff, then that gets all misconstrued on how you'd have to like undo stuff.
And
then
it takes up a lot more space. A
space,
lot.
yeah. But the only thing is if you're doing big items, just make sure you measure properly and put like your total package weight that you.
I normally add 3 inches to each side for the big boxes. And like today, I shipped an 18-inch glass Murano bowl overseas. And I was actually, it's funny because I was under on the weight, but I was over on the dimensions. So it was actually cheaper because my dimensions were smaller than what I put, even though the weight was way higher. So I bet I have more than 30 or 40 shipping videos. I have a lot of them. I think about 5 tutorial videos, like on what you need for shipping, what to do. And I just did a master class, really, really detailed on Sunday that you can still purchase for replay on my Big Cartel site. We did a lot on that. Like I walked through screen share, the different options that you can pick on eBay, how to weigh it, what to put in. We went over a lot. We went over international shipping. So that was like way more in depth than any of my videos. But I have, if you search the Nurse Flipper ship, I bet you'll find, I would say at least 40, because I have well over 500 videos. And I used to do ship with me like once a week. And I know I did like 3 tutorial shipping videos. So I have a lot.
Somebody asked a question in the chat a while back about what scale everybody uses. What scale are y'all using?
I think most of us use Accutech. What's that one? It's Accutech.
It's like $15
this one, for anybody that's wondering.
Does that have the cord though, Scott?
To plug it in?
No, with a separate display. So no, like
if you're
mine's
doing
right
stuff,
there.
You want that, right?
If you're shipping bigger stuff, you want that black one that has the phone cord. It's like $23 because like I'm putting an 18-inch box on it. I'd never see the screen. So it has like a phone cord where you can pull the display out and it's $23.
But the Accutech, like they're so cheap. I've been using this one for 3 or 4 years and it was under $20.
Yeah, they're cheap. We have 2 because there's one there and there's one there. Because Brad kept yelling. He was just messing with me. He gets mad. Like I take stuff seriously when he's just joking. And he'd like, quit using my scale. So I bought another scale. So now there's 2 scales like 2 feet apart from each other on the counter. Because we both ship at the same time.
I remember looking at getting one of those bigger scales in the past. And I felt like the... Scott just made another scale. I felt like the tolerance was not as good for like really lightweight stuff. On the bigger scales. Mine does
pretty good because we do a lot of the Harley pins and like the license plates are under a pound. And like I don't know how they live. Like we've never replaced the batteries for like over a year. I'm like, I don't know how. Like we've never plugged the thing in either. They just keep going. So those we haven't had any issues. And we do well because I do jewelry. I do a lot of smaller stuff too. So I haven't had any, and I think one of them, I always look for the Amazon warehouse deals. If I can get stuff cheaper, I'm getting stuff cheaper. And I think one of those was like an open box type thing. So hopefully shipping is not, once you understand it, it's not as stressful. Okay. Right. The worst thing is just not understanding and being worried about it. Once you learn like the different ways to ship and how to calculate it and how to enter it into eBay, Poshmark makes it simple, up to 5 pounds, throw it in whatever box you want and you're good. But eBay, you just need to learn how to put those special things in, and then it's cake. Then it's easy.
If you ship something wrong, you're not going to jail, right? Like,
no, you're not going to jail, but you might pay to learn, and honestly, that's going to make you remember.
Exactly.
You know. All right, here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
Okay, this is going to be the last question, guys. Sunkiss, as a newer reseller who actually needs to do this full time and sell off 2 storage units as I lost my job, how can I get views even if I list stuff dirt cheap and it's not moving on eBay? What would your advice be?
If it isn't moving on eBay, then you probably need to move it locally and to have some kind of sale. It sounds like, because one of the things that happens if you lose your job, you're in a stressful situation immediately. And by trying to sell on eBay or Poshmark or Etsy, you've introduced an entire platform, a third party, and you really need to get some of this stuff off you so you can focus on the important life stuff. So I'm probably trying to sell it locally, generate a little bit of money, certainly empty out those storage units so you're not paying for those if you are paying for those. And I would liquidate it quickly and focus on more important things in your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say try to have a garage sale maybe, or like an estate sale company try to sell it for you depending on what it is. Otherwise, maybe if you have any, like, I don't know, if you can get like one of those booths in like an antique store, depending on what you have, at least you can store it elsewhere and it can just sell off as it sells, or like some sort of consignment store that sells stuff for you and then you just get paid as it sells. Maybe those are my ideas.
All great ideas, especially if it's not like, it's just not, I don't know if it's not selling on eBay, but if like it's decent items and you just feel like you're not making the sales fast enough, I'm working 15 hours a day. Like I'm just hammering down, just not even looking at views, and I'm just going to hammer down until both of those are listed. I mean, so what happened, and then you can change the course of this just by really working very hard for the next however long that's going to take. So I would concentrate on one to get that rent gone if you are paying for it, and then I would just get to the other one, and then I would consolidate as much as I can back to the house where your overhead is lower.
Yeah, I would do that as well. And if you're saying you're listing it dirt cheap and it's not moving, my thought would be maybe you're pricing it so cheap that people think something's wrong with it, or you don't have good merchandise. And I mean, I hate to say that, but it's probably one or the two. Either it's too low, so people think something's wrong, or it's just not something that will sell online. So I agree with everybody else. I would try and have a garage sale move stuff. If you need to do it full time, you would need to, allocate some of the funds towards paying your bills. I agree with everybody. Get it in the house if at all possible. You don't need any more overhead. That's why I've chosen to buy sheds versus renting storage, because at least when I pay them off, there's no more rent on them. And I don't like going many places. I hate that. I feel like I'm kind of a hermit. So I like having everything here. And that's been the biggest thing, because I've been tempted with some of the offers, but I know I would have to get a storage unit or go back into my spare bedroom. And my life felt so much better when I moved all of my eBay stuff out of my house. Like, clutter gone. It would take gold to get me to put stuff back into my house, because I want my business and my house separate. Even though I'm only 20 feet from the house, now I'm not far. It's not inside the house, cluttering up the house. But don't pay any extra money you need to. And then what I was saying is I would allocate whatever you need towards the bill. Just take out what you need for the bills and then reinvest the rest. But make sure you're looking up comps and you're buying stuff that is selling. So you don't want to, I would concentrate on fast moving stuff because you're needing to get that income up quicker, not long tail stuff. So if you're looking on eBay, there are 30 listed and 60 sold. That would be a great item to pick up. If there are 30 listed and 3 sold, then I would put it back on the shelf no matter how much you like it, especially needing income right now. So I would look at the prices and make sure you price in with everybody else, maybe 5 or 10% lower. But if you go a lot lower, people are going to think something might be wrong with it. That would be my main concern. But definitely, I made like $1,700 at a yard sale here in the middle of nowhere one time. People like yard sales. They like deals. A lot of time, if the stuff in storage is stuff you've been buying, a hard thing is if you paid too much is realizing that and letting it go for less and at least recouping some of your money. That's why I don't like to buy people out too, because most of the time I'm not willing to give them what they paid because I think they overpaid. And I don't like lowballers, so I don't want to feel like I am one. Especially I buy 10 to 20%. I say that all day long. So, that's what I like to pay, unless it's like $500 in profit, and then I'll pay more. But that is our last question. I appreciate Scott, Kathy, and Chris coming on with us again. It has been a great show. I think we had close to 600 people in the chat.
Wow.
So thank you all for coming. I will let Scott, don't talk for like 2 seconds and catch me off guard again now. Tell these people about you and tell them about your storage unit. Those videos are good. Scott has an amazing storage unit. So I'm going to make Scott big. Definitely check out both of their channels if you have not. The link is in the description if you're watching this after. If you're in the chat now, Richard has been dropping links. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate you. Here is Scott to tell you guys goodbye.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Nope, I'm leaving you there. Tell them about your storage unit.
The storage unit that Melody and I just bought is incredible. It was 10 by 20, and it is full. The storage unit was sealed up in 1999, give or take. But the stuff was vintage when it was put in there. It was a sportswear store. And it turns out, that video is not out yet, the back of the unit, the guy had a computer store. And so he repaired computers. So I got a bunch of stuff. Also, I've never done my own live show, but I am less than 100 subscribers away from 5,000. And when I hit 5,000, I'm going to do my own live show. And hopefully somebody other than just my mom will tune in. And that's it.
Okay, here's Kathy and Chris. That's acceptable.
What are we supposed to say?
Goodbye.
Tell them when you do videos, like when is your live? When do you do your, do you do your live? When do you do your videos so they know when to watch for stuff?
So we do lives on Thursday nights, currently at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, which is kind of late for most people, but we're thinking about moving it up to 7 once school starts, which is next week. Regularly, right now over the summer, we went down to 3 videos a week, but we'll probably be going back to like 5 during the school year. And we do have a free spreadsheet, and Chris has been working on the updated version this week, so that videos should be out soon. If you need a reseller spreadsheet to put your numbers in, we have that available on all of our videos.
Perfect.
Yep.
And I am not spreadsheet. So all of you that ask me, now you know where to go. I am anti-spreadsheet. So Julian, every other day, anything else going on?
The only big thing is that we are going out to the 127. We'll be dropping a video every day. Like I'm going to go out and do stuff, and then that night I will go ahead and edit and post. That's what our idea is.
That's rough. I did that in Pennsylvania when I was with Jocelyn. Oh,
it's gonna be rough.
That was rough.
But we're gonna try to do it. Hopefully, the internet where we're staying can handle it. Because if not, then it's gonna be impossible. Because
it's rough. Do you have the hotspot on your phone? When the internet where I was staying didn't work, the hotspot on my phone worked.
Yeah, we have that. Good. So then we should be able to do it. Because
I was doing daily when I went to Pennsylvania, so I know that struggle. It was like, okay, video, go home.
Now that I said it, we're gonna have to do it. Yeah. So
now you have to do it. Yeah. So I have top 10 reasons you fail. My positive self being negative. But really, the reason I am doing that is because I really want people to look at themselves and look at reasons that you might be failing at reselling and kind of get some introspective into your own personality and yourself and what might be holding you back. That's my big thing to get across. I am super, super positive and an optimist. And I'm there's no for me. I'm going to do it. And I think that's a big thing. You're determined to make it, and reselling, you'll make it. That's a big thing. So that'll be tomorrow night. And then Friday is going to be top selling plush. That one's going to be a fun one. A couple people requested that one. So that'll be Friday. And then I have no masterclass this week, but I'm doing 4 in August, and I'm going to do discounts for 2 or 4 because people asked me after the ones in July if they could get discounts if they came to 2 or more classes. So I will be doing that. And then, of course, we have FlipCon coming up in 3 weeks, and there are still tickets. That's in Charlotte. I love it because my little airport here is a regional airport, and they have direct flights to Charlotte, and it's an hour and a half. And I'm like, this is amazing. So super excited to go to Charlotte. There are going to be a ton of amazing people there. So something to think about if you're going or not going. And then what else? I think that's it. Oh, next week. I should look. I was going to look, and then Scott threw me off with his 2-second exit. Let's see who's next week. Who is next week? Oh, Philly Picker and Mike January House. So that will be a fun one. That we had those guys on together before, so that will be a great show. So we will see you guys next Tuesday at 8. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Thanks for coming. Kathy, Chris, and Scott, thank you again. Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Bye, everybody. We're still live. That's my worst fear. I hit end and it is circling.
So we're
Sorry,
still
guys.
on, so I can talk to anybody I want.
We're still live. It doesn't want to end.
Kathy's not.
She
Kathy
had to go to
said
the
she's
bathroom.
out. Having trouble connecting. We cannot end the broadcast.